I compete for children who don't have enough food to eat. Following her convincing victory over Alina Sharaeva on January 26, 2026,
Revealed is the hidden $87,000 surprise that shows Alex Eala is truly one of the kindest souls in tennis. Welcome back to Court Eva Tennis, the only place bringing you the most exciting tennis updates, the most talked about behind-the-scenes moments, and the kind of emotional edge-of-your-seat stories that other sports outlets won't even dare to cover. We're talking about stories that make you stop everything, hit the table, and say, "Hold on, seriously?" And today's story delivers exactly that. So go ahead, sit back, relax, grab your favorite drink, maybe even keep some tissues close, because what you're about to hear is going to hit you right in the heart, in the best way possible. In a professional tennis world filled with broken rackets, heated arguments with umpires, controversial rivalries, massive endorsement deals, and elite players living lives so far removed from reality it feels unreal, finding a story like this is incredibly rare. A story that slices through all the noise, the hype, and the artificial drama, and instead hits you deeply with something genuine, something emotional, and something truly human. It almost feels unbelievable. Today, we're focusing on Alexandria, the pride of the Philippines, a young star who has taken the global tennis scene by storm. You already know her name. You've watched her highlights. You've seen that explosive forehand, Alex Eala firing rockets off her racket like pure power unleashed. You've read the history books and seen her make history as the first Filipino to win a junior Grand Slam singles title. You've seen her raise the Philippine flag, tears in her eyes, carrying the hopes of an entire nation on her young yet determined shoulders. But what you're about to learn today has nothing to do with rankings, serve speed, training routines, or tournament appearances. This story is about her character, about who Alexandria really is when the spotlight fades, when the cameras are gone, and when no one is paying attention. Because it's in those silent, unplanned, deeply personal moments that a person's true nature is revealed. And what we've discovered about this rising star will completely change the way you look at her forever. To truly grasp this, we have to rewind right back to the start because background changes everything. Without understanding where Alex began, you can't fully value how incredible her journey really is. Long before the sponsorships, before the Rafa Nadal Academy in Mallorca, Spain, before the global headlines, ranking points, magazine features, endorsement deals, and all the fame, there was only a young girl from the Philippines with an unstoppable dream. Alex's ambition burned fiercely, a passion that demanded everything she and her family could possibly give. And in tennis, chasing a dream comes with a cost that can leave anyone stunned. This isn't like kicking a football around for fun. Tennis is famously, almost brutally expensive. Court fees stack up hour after hour. Top-level coaching can cost more per session than what many households spend on food in an entire week. Traveling for international tournaments means paying for flights, hotels, meals, and transporting equipment across different countries again and again. Then comes the equipment. Rackets, strings, shoes that wear down quickly, specialized training tools, physiotherapy, mental coaching, proper nutrition plans, the expenses never seem to end. The financial demands of building a professional tennis career are massive, constant, and unforgiving to anyone without serious financial backing. The Eala family invested everything, every sacrifice, every peso, every bit of strength, into supporting what was clearly a once-in-a-generation talent. But dreams often run into harsh reality. There was a period filled with real struggle and uncertainty, when the numbers simply didn't work no matter how carefully they were handled, and the dream began to feel less like hope and more like something slipping away. These are the moments where most families give up, where countless journeys quietly come to an end before they ever truly begin. But for the Eala family, something remarkable took place. Right when they were at their lowest, facing their toughest chapter, help arrived in the most unexpected way. At that crucial point, a humble yet extraordinary tennis academy stepped in. Not a flashy corporate sponsor filled with complicated contracts, but something far more genuine. Not a state-funded initiative buried under endless paperwork and years of waiting, but a small, dedicated, community-driven academy that recognized something special in a young girl's eyes. A spark, a relentless drive, a natural brilliance that needed to be developed, not ignored. Instead of letting that potential fade, they welcomed her in, providing court access, guidance, and a much-needed lifeline to a family running low on both hope and resources. They did it quietly, without attention or announcements, simply because it was the right thing to do, and deep down, they understood that turning away Alex Eala at that moment would have been a loss for the sport itself. Now fast forward through years of relentless training, missed celebrations, exhausting long-distance economy flights, painful early defeats, quiet nights alone in unfamiliar hotel rooms, injuries, setbacks, and those crushing losses that make you question everything, along with the countless obstacles that exist between a child's dream and real-world success. Jump to the present, and this is where the story takes a turn that will leave you stunned. At this stage in her career, with global attention growing, sponsorship deals rolling in, and a future that looks incredibly bright, Alex made a silent and deeply personal choice. Instead of only looking ahead, she chose to look back, returning to where it all began, without any announcement, no social media build-up, and no attempt to turn it into a public moment. She simply walked back into the same modest academy that once supported her when almost no one else could. But she didn't return empty-handed. Alex Eala brought something far greater than a simple thank you gesture. She contributed $87,000, an amount that for a small community tennis center can completely change everything. Following her strong win over Alina Shah on January 26, 2026, this wasn't just money to display on a wall among old photos and faded records. It meant safer, newly resurfaced courts, proper nets, improved lighting for night practice, upgraded training machines, better equipment, and facilities that finally feel worthy of future champions. It also created real opportunities, scholarships that can transform the lives of young players. Kids standing exactly where Alex once stood, staring through a fence and wondering if chasing their dream was even possible. That $87,000 sends a powerful message to struggling families. Your child's talent matters, and their dreams deserve a real chance. And we will help it grow. That's enough. Step inside. We're here for you. That wasn't just money given away. It was a powerful statement. Yet, as incredible and life-changing as the $87,000 contribution was, it still wasn't the part that touched people the most. The real emotion came from the words that came with it. Alex Eala, a young athlete who could have easily written a polished, media-friendly message about giving back or supporting the future of Filipino tennis, instead shared something deeply simple, raw, and honest, just 10 words. They were there for my family when we had nothing. Read that again slowly, because inside those few words lives a world of feeling, memories, gratitude, and quiet strength. Alex didn't just offer thanks or recognize a financial favor. She reached back to one of the hardest, most uncertain times in her family's life and spoke about it openly, without hesitation or pride. She made it clear that there was a moment when this journey almost didn't happen at all. And she chose to honor the people who stood by her during that time. Not major sponsors, not official programs, but the ones who truly showed up when it mattered most. Success and recognition may have come later, but that small, humble academy had always been there. And not even for a second did she forget it on her rise to the top. In today's world of social media and constant connection, a story like this couldn't stay hidden for long. It didn't break through a PR campaign, but through the genuine emotions of those who experienced it firsthand. The coaches at the academy were reportedly in tears, overwhelmed by the moment. These were people who had spent their lives quietly developing young players, often without recognition, now watching one of their own return with a level of gratitude that words could barely express. The young players training there felt it too. They stood taller, trained harder, and started believing more deeply in their own dreams, because someone they looked up to had come back and shown them that those dreams can actually become real. She reminded them that dedication, loyalty, and remembering where you came from still matter. When the story spread online, the reaction was massive. The tennis world, often seen as focused only on rankings and stats, was suddenly brought together by something much deeper. A story of humility, appreciation, and genuine humanity that cut through all the usual noise. Conversations that normally revolve around records and debates quickly turned into expressions of warmth and respect. Fans from the Philippines led a wave of pride that was powerful and emotional, going far beyond the sport itself. But the reaction didn't stop there. Tennis fans from all over the world, many of whom barely knew Alex Eala before, began sharing her story, supporting her, and embracing her, not because of what she did on the court, but because of who she showed herself to be off it. Discussion spaces that were once filled with arguments about rankings and titles suddenly shifted into something simple and meaningful. This is a genuinely good person. And in a time where real kindness often feels rare, that feeling carried serious meaning. Even other athletes, who are usually cautious about public displays of charity, paid attention. They instantly saw the difference. This wasn't staged generosity or a move designed for headlines, but something truly genuine. What makes this story even more powerful is what it shows about Alex Eala as a person. A level of awareness and maturity that's uncommon for someone in their early 20s, especially at the start of what looks like a long and successful career. This is normally the point where young athletes focus only on themselves, rankings, money, personal image, social media presence, and building their brand. The sports world often pushes that mindset, because ego sells, drama attracts attention, and spectacle drives interest. But here is Alex, at that exact moment, choosing a completely different direction. Instead of only pushing forward to grow her own success, she looked back. She gave a meaningful amount to a small academy, shared honest and heartfelt words about what others once did for her family, and quietly stepped away without seeking attention. She did what was right, not for recognition or viral moments, but simply because it was the right thing to do. That goes beyond admirable. It's rare, and it reveals a kind of character that cannot be created or copied. You either have it or you don't. And in Alex, it's clearly there in abundance. For the coaches and staff at the academy, people who have spent years working tirelessly to develop young players with little recognition, her visit became one of the most meaningful moments of their lives. Not trophies, not wins, but this quiet return of a star who showed appreciation in such a sincere and generous way. It's a moment they will never forget. And for the kids training there, watching her walk through those same doors, it became something even bigger. A real example that greatness can come from exactly where they are. That the same courts, the same struggles, and the same humble beginnings can lead to something extraordinary one day. She faced financial challenges, overcame overwhelming obstacles, and still found her path forward, and then chose to come back. That kind of example is priceless. You can't measure what it does for a young person's belief to see someone from the same place, facing similar struggles, rise to the top and still stay connected to their roots. At its heart, Alex Eala's $87,000 quiet contribution is a story about loyalty. A deep, unshakable loyalty that doesn't disappear with success, wealth, or fame. It's the kind of loyalty that looks back across time, distance, and personal growth and still says, "It matters. You matter. I remember." And in the world of professional sports, that kind of loyalty is something truly special. That kind of loyalty is uncommon and deeply meaningful. And in Alex Eala, it doesn't feel like something created for appearances, but something genuinely rooted in who she is as a person. The tennis world now gets to watch her journey unfold over the coming years. And if the person behind her powerful shots and calm presence is truly the one revealed in this story, then we are seeing more than just a future champion. We are witnessing the rise of a true icon. Someone who goes beyond the sport, who stands for more than rankings or trophies, and who represents values that last far longer than any match result. Alexandra Eala, once a young girl from the Philippines with a dream bigger than her situation, supported by a community when she needed it most, has now reached the global stage through talent, determination, and heart. And in doing so, she has become a powerful example of what happens when success is paired with gratitude. Through sacrifice and perseverance, she has shown the world exactly what kind of champion she aims to be, and it goes far beyond performance on the court. Alex Eala is not just outstanding in her game, but remarkable in her character, genuine in her humility, and constant in her appreciation. Tennis is undoubtedly better because she is part of it. And the Philippines continues to feel pride and inspiration through her journey. Stories like this remind us that the true meaning of sport is not only found in winning, but in character, kindness, and the difference one person can make in the lives of many. Now the focus shifts to you because this is a story meant to be felt and talked about. Did her quiet yet powerful act of generosity impact you? Did those simple 10 words stay with you even after hearing them? And as her journey continues, how far do you think she can go? Could she reach the top 50 in the WTA rankings this year, or go even further? One thing is clear. What we are watching is not just the rise of a talented player, but the beginning of a legacy that is redefining what it means to be a champion. Now it's your turn. Head to the comments and share your thoughts. Who in your life supported you the way that Academy supported the Eala family? And have you ever found a meaningful way to show your gratitude? Share everything you're thinking and feeling below, because this is a conversation worth having and every voice matters. I read every comment, and I'm excited to hear what this community thinks about one of the most emotional and powerful stories we've ever shared. If this story touched you in any way, make sure to hit the like button. It might seem small, but it truly helps. And if you're not already part of the Court Eva Tennis family, don't forget to subscribe, because this is where the real stories live, the human side behind the athletes. Where tennis becomes more than just a game, and shows what can happen when talent meets character and success meets generosity. Turn on notifications so you never miss what's coming next, because there are more inspiring stories ahead. Until next time, keep your strings tight, your hearts open, and always remember the people who stood by you when you had nothing.
Heat for children who don't have enough food to eat. Following her convincing victory over Alexandra Eala on January 26, 2026, Alexandra